Welcome to the CareerIgnite Introduction to Resume Writing webinar. My name is Sandy. I'm from the Student Employment Office and I'll be your presenter. Today, we will be going over on how to create a resume, what you should include in it, and how to ensure it highlights your most relevant skills and experiences. If you are a student who has never created a resume and are looking for part-time jobs and internships, then you're definitely at the right place. So what is a resume? A resume is a very detailed document describing various aspects about yourself, such as your education, experiences, and skills, in a way that effectively markets you and what you have to offer the employer. Is a resume really necessary? Yes, the resume is a way for the employer to see if you qualify for whatever opportunity they're recruiting for. Think of it this way. You always want to make a good first impression. The employers meet your resume first, and then if they like it, then they want to meet you in person. So it's important for your resume to reflect you accurately. So what does your resume tell the employer? It tells them who you are, what you want to do, what you know, what you can do, and what you can offer. Yes, your resume can tell the employer all that about you, so you want to make sure you're including all those relevant details. So what's the goal? You want to keep your resume concise and organized. You also want to customize your resume to specific opportunities you're looking for. A targeted search is more effective than having just one general resume that you're using for multiple different opportunities. You may find yourself with many different versions of your resume, and that's totally fine. Think about what information the employer would be interested in and include it. That's how you're going to keep your resume relevant. You also want to focus on what you have done and what skills you have developed. These are the standard sections of a resume. They include contact information, education, experience, and skills. When creating your resume, I would recommend to begin with these sections as a foundation for your resume and then add in additional sections around them. We'll also discuss on what kinds of additional sections you can add after the next few slides. This is also the recommended order of the sections, so contact information comes first, education comes second, and so on and so forth. The first standard section is your contact information. You want to make your name big and bold because it's a marketing document and you're trying to market yourself, so your name is a big part of that. Make sure to include your location, phone number, and email address. For your email address, please make sure that it's professional. For UIC students, I recommend that you use your UIC email address. It has a couple of benefits in that you can check both your school and work-related emails all in the same place, and it does give you a little bit of free brand marketing as well to show that you are affiliated with UIC. If you want to upgrade your contact information, you can also include your LinkedIn profile link, a link to a digital portfolio. If you've made any websites, if you've made any repositories, you can include your GitHub, things of that nature. The next standard section is education. In this section, you will be including the name of the institution, your degree type, major, minor, and concentration. Make sure to spell everything out, including the school and the major. You also want to include your expected graduation date, and you can also optionally include your overall and major GPA and any short facts of academic distinction, such as being in the Honors College or the Dean's List. Employers like to know that your educational interests line up with their particular industry, so this is an important section to include within your resume. The next section is experience. The key parts of this section include your organization and position title, location, dates of employment, and your duties and responsibilities, most commonly formatted as bullet points. You can use anything as experience. Did you volunteer? Are you in a student organization? It doesn't necessarily have to be paid. For example, you can talk about your experience at your projects or your research or your volunteering, and so on and so forth. It also works to your advantage to categorize your experience with specific titles such as leadership experience or project experience so that whoever is reading your resume can go straight to the section that interests them. You can also use job descriptions, either your past ones, your current ones, or any positions you're looking at for keywords to use. This will help you get past those applicant tracking systems if you're speaking the same language as the recruiters. For your bullet points, make sure that you're showing what you did, how you did it, and why it was important. In this section as well, you want to go from chronological order, so you're going to go from most recent to least recent. Transferable skills are also a key part of the experience section. What are transferable skills? These are skills or qualities that can be used in a variety of roles and industries. Do I have these? Yes, you do. These are common skills that you can develop at many places. It could be jobs, student organizations, volunteering, etc. I often get students who are concerned about their lack of work experience and don't know what to put on their resume. My answer to that is that you most likely have already developed common job skills that a variety of positions will require, such as being organized, having good time management, and being able to communicate effectively. How do you use transferable skills? First, identify what are the sort of skills that employers are looking for. Do you happen to be looking for a clerical position? Then most likely, the people who are hiring are looking for someone who is organized and has customer service skills. If you look at the first example, we focus on the customer service aspect, the skills you would have used in the food service industry that shows your proficiency in that area, instead of focusing on industry-specific skills. In the second example, we use the same method. A key point of the experience section is the bullet points describing the skills, duties, and responsibilities of each position you're putting on the resume. In order to make the most of this section and to highlight your most relevant skills in an effective way, use action verbs and specific language. As you can see on the chart, the progression from a weak statement to a convincing statement is done by simply choosing an effective action verb and descriptive language. Again, you want each bullet point to show what you did, how you did it, and why it was important. Another tip is to quantify whenever possible. How many times did you do a certain skill? How many people did you work with? Things of that nature help the employer measure the frequency and scale of your skill. Here is an example of an experience section. As you can see, this person chose to do a related experience section and put in their executive leadership position in a student organization. They have all the correct logistical information, such as the dates of employment and the position title and organization title, and they have 3 bullet points describing what they did within their role. They all started off with an action verb and are including specific examples to make the statement more convincing, and they also quantified whenever possible. The next and last standard section is skills. In this section, you should be focusing on hard skills, not interpersonal skills. Make sure to reference specific programs and softwares that are commonly used within your industry. And this is typically placed on the bottom of the page after all your other sections. However, for STEM majors, for example, if you're pre-med, engineering, or computer science, we recommend that this section goes up to be below the education section so that it comes to the attention of the recruiter much faster. You can also add in different categories as it pertains to you. Do you happen to be into digital marketing? Then perhaps a social media category would be interesting. If you're in research, then maybe you should add a laboratory section. This section is customizable to you, so what I would recommend is to start off with the 2 most common, which are computer and languages, and add in sections as you need to. Here are some examples of the objective in honors and awards. And some more examples of projects and relevant coursework. You don't have to have all of these sections, only the ones that would be relevant to you and the positions you are applying for. And now some general tips and tricks for your resume. For most entry-level positions, you should be sticking to a 1-page resume. Speak in the objective third person, so try to avoid the use of personal pronouns like I, my, and mine. Quantify whenever possible, and most importantly, make sure that you are proofreading your resume and getting it reviewed by at least one other person before you're using it to apply for jobs. I'm going to talk about what your options are if you would like to get it reviewed by one of our offices. And don't use a template. I would recommend to start off in a plain Word document so that you can have the power to control the order of your sections, moving around the format, versus a template which may not allow you to have that capability in the future. And now here are some additional resources you can use when creating your resume. I'm going to point you to the UIC Career Services website. It has sample resumes and a list of power and action verbs that you can use to help start creating your resume. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the website over here and show you where that's at. It's on the Career Services website over here under the Students tab, and then Resumes, CVs, and Cover Letters. When you scroll down the page and you click Resumes Getting Started, you'll be able to find the resume power and action verbs here, and it pulls up a list of many different types of verbs categorized by the type of verb that they are. I like to use this as inspiration because it is very easy to start to use the same word over and over again, and you can only use the word assist so many times. So make sure that you're consulting this list for different types of verbs that you can use within your experience section. When you click back onto the page over here, you can also take a look at the different types of sample resumes available for you. They're divided by different types of majors and industries. So if you look at this one's a business one. Here's also an engineering one. And an LAS major one. Now, what I want to point out is that though the majors are different and the formats are different, the content and the names of the sections, the order of the sections, they are pretty similar amongst the different types of people that are represented here. So I want to emphasize that there's not one recommended format that you have to follow. You can just do whatever format that works for you. But make sure that you're developing the content and the things that go into the sections as your priority. If you have any questions about resumes or any career development topics you may have, we are having a live chat Q&A session next Thursday, April 9th from 12 to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time to answer any questions that you may have. You can check out the Career Services website for more information on how to log in. In addition, if you want to get your resume reviewed, which you should, Career Services and Student Employment are also offering virtual walk-ins and appointments at this time. You can email them at any of the emails listed on the page right there for more information on how to do a walk-in or an appointment. And we are also going to be doing more webinars and live chat Q&A sessions on different career development topics. So check out the Career Services website for more information. The Student Employment Office also hosts the Job Location and Development Program, also known as JLD. If you are interested in getting an off-campus part-time job or internship related to your field of interest or your major, check it out. It's an advising program that helps you develop job search skills and connects you to opportunities. For more information, you can visit go.uic.edu/JLD for application processes and requirements.